You ready?
Ready?
I'm ready.
Are you guys ready?
Are y'all ready?
No, 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 no.
I'll wait for you guys to like and subscribe for y'all to be ready. All right, now that we got that out of the way, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today is a little bit of a different video. We haven't done one of these in a while and you guys have requested a couple different things, but we thought we would touch on this subject today, is how to control ball speed, how to bring it up, how to bring it down.
I thought this would be great to showcase because I struggle with the opposite of Nate. Nate struggles with being able to throw it slower, and I struggle sometimes with being able to throw it faster. Now, obviously, kind of opposite. Like on his tour, he needs to be able to throw it slower, and I actually need to be able to throw it faster. So it's just kind of funny that the things we struggle with are the things that we actually need to compete at a higher level. And what this means that we can do it, but we need to be able to do it more consistently. Speed is actually one of the harder elements to have in your toolbox, meaning having the difference between your slowest and your highest. The best bowlers in the world are able to have between a mile and a half between their slowest and their fastest speed. That might not seem like a lot, but that makes a huge difference when we're talking about on the lanes and where your ball is reading on the lane. So if you can get even half a mile consistently when you're throwing shots for your game, you're going to make a big difference in the way you see your ball go down the lane.
We're going to talk about a couple things today that not only will help us with our game, but hopefully to help you and how to control your ball speed.
Also, as you can see, we both have different body styles. We both do things a little bit differently. So just remember how you are and your body is going to play a key factor in what is going to work for you. But we wanted to show you some stuff that works for us. Hopefully some things we're going to show you guys today will help you guys raise your average and beat all your friends in league or wherever you guys are bowling.
Yeah, so let's get on the lanes. In order to create ball speed or bring your ball speed down, it's all about tempo. We don't want to run to the line. We don't want to, throw the ball with our arm to create ball speed or decelerate our swing to bring the ball speed down. It all has to do with our lower body, our legs, and our footwork. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys 3 different tempos. I'm gonna go my normal, and I'm gonna go on both extremes, faster and slower. It's not going to look much different. The tempo is just gonna be either faster or slower. So we're gonna throw a normal shot, and we're gonna get into faster and slower part of this video. All right guys, so that was my normal tempo. That's just my baseline, kind of what I do everything off of. So now we're gonna move further right, and we're gonna bring up the tempo. We're gonna be a little bit quicker with our footwork, but we're not gonna throw it with our arm to create ball speed. We're gonna use our lower body, our legs to drive into the line to create that ball speed. So what you're gonna see differently, you're gonna see my first and second step probably be a little bit quicker, but still the same distance, and we don't wanna get out of, but still the same distance, and we don't want to get out of rhythm. So we're just going to bring that rhythm and tempo up just a little bit so you guys can increase the ball speed easier. You're not going to see me want to throw this with my arm. So let's just move, I don't know, 6 or 8. So as you guys saw, my footwork is a little bit faster. First and second step were still small, and everything went into the line. I increased my ball speed. Let's go over to Specto and let's look at our last 2 shots in relation to ball speed. All right, so as you guys see right here, this was the further right shot, 10 to 8, 20 miles per hour. And this was the shot before, a little bit deeper, same break point, but a mile an hour slower. The tempo was faster on the first shot, bringing the ball speed up a mile an hour off of our baseline. So now we're gonna go to the other extreme. We're gonna move farther left. We're gonna slow the tempo down, and we're not gonna decelerate our swing. We're not gonna do any of that. We're just using our legs and lower body to control how fast or slow we wanna throw it. All right, so now we're at 36 with our feet, slightly a little up on the approach. Normally when I like to throw it slower, I move up a little bit and I lower where the ball is, just a little bit, just like a feel thing for me. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna have my footwork be a little bit slower. Same result, strike. So let's go over to Specto and let's look at our ball speed. All right, so at the arrows, we're at 20. Breakpoint is still around 8, and we're at 18.5. Now, I could be a little bit slower, and I forgot to mention that 18.5, I believe, is off the hand. Specto is catching this off the hand. I could be wrong, but in this live feature of Specto, I believe that's where it is. But you guys can see, all I'm doing is either picking up the pace or slowing down the pace of my footwork, still driving with the legs, and the end result is 3 different ball speeds on 3 different parts of the lane. Now, you can obviously throw it slower from right and throw it harder from left. I'm not saying that that's what you always have to do. There is certain situations where you can flip-flop where you are on the lane and throw different ball speeds. So for a tall guy like me, those are just the simple tips and tricks that I can offer that has worked for me. And obviously, I still need to hit the lanes and get better at it because I want better results than what I'm doing right now. So hopefully this helps, and we're gonna jump into what Elise likes to do. In order for you ladies to learn from her, or if you all aren't 6'5" like myself, she might be a little bit of a better help. So hopefully that helps, and let's go over to Elise.
Okay, so for me, when I think of tempo, I did music a lot growing up, so I think of like a song in my head or just a tempo in my head that's like a beat to try to help me with my speed. And I think it is really helpful. So if you think of like a high tempo song and then a low tempo song, when you are trying to make those differences in speed, I think it is very helpful. I'm going to go ahead and show you my normal speed, just like Nate did. Keep in mind, depending on what you're bowling on, it can make a difference in your speed. So the quicker the ball slows down, meaning less oil, more friction, that means your ball speed is going to look slower. So today we are bowling on a higher friction house shot, so my ball speed, my normal ball speed and everything is probably going to look a little bit different just because I am hooking the lane, which means my ball speed is slowing down quicker because there is more friction. Now, if we bowled on a heavier volume pattern with more oil and I was straighter, it would look like my normal, my high, my low are higher, and that's just because of the oil on the lane. So keep that in mind when you're looking at your ball speed and testing out your ball speed to get better at it. As you can see, my normal 16.5, that's actually almost dead on. Obviously a lot lower than Nate's normal, like we said. This is a good comparison to show you the difference in ball speed. As Nate said, this is off the hand. So we're looking probably 1.5 miles to 2 miles slower, depending again on what oil and what the pattern looks like when you actually hit the pins. More optimal ball speed to be around like 14.5, 15 at the pins is what you really need to be able to strike. Again, when you're first starting out bowling, that is the biggest thing you're working on. I know for me, like getting my speed higher and higher as I grew, as I was bowling was very optimal. I was able to always get to the pocket but not able to carry. Ball speed has a lot to do with that. So if you are working on that, being able to be over 14.5, 15 at the pins is going to help you with your carry. So we're right around that range. I'll do my slow first and then I'll show you guys my fast speed. Now for me, when I'm trying to throw it slow, I do hold the ball a little bit higher because I want to think everything's a little bit longer. As Nate said, you don't want to pull down, but for me to make everything go a little bit slower and get my hands still in the right position, I try to make it feel like everything's in slow motion and everything is longer. So I do hold it a little bit higher. My steps are going to feel a little bit longer. Tempo of my steps changes, not necessarily how long or short my steps are. It's just the tempo. See, almost 1 mile an hour slower. Pretty good. Now this is where it's going to be different per person, where for me, getting faster, you know, my higher speed is going to be what is harder for me, which you guys will see the next shot. I am able to get higher than my normal speed, but my difference between my high and normal and my low and normal is going to be drastically different just because that's what I'm good at. So that's where hand positions and just surface of the bowling ball is more important for me when I am playing on different patterns because I know that my higher speed, I need to have a little bit more tricks in my bag to combat when I see that when I do need my speed to be higher, but I'm already maxed out. So that's something we'll get into in later videos, but that's why it's always important to have different tricks. But as you see, my lowest speed, and I could probably go a little bit slower than this for my normal, is about a mile slower than my normal. Let's jump back on a lane and I'll show you guys my fast speed and what I do to get a little bit higher than my normal. So once again, when I am trying to change my ball speed, I'm thinking about a tempo. So now I'm thinking about everything fast paced. My feet are a little bit shorter, not necessarily the steps, but I'm feeling like everything's a little bit shorter and quicker, especially as I get into my 3, 4, 5. That way everything is exploding towards the line. I'm not using my shoulder to actually create the speed, but my tempo and everything is what is pushing my body forward. So instead of holding my ball higher, and these are just little bits, it's not a huge difference, but I'm going to hold it a little bit lower, closer to my hip, so that way I can let my feet drive and I'm not letting my arm drive the swing like I did when I'm throwing it a little bit slower. So I'm going to hold the ball a little bit close to my body, and just as Nate said earlier where he moves up and back, when I do try to create more ball speed, I do move a little bit back on the approach. So I have a little bit longer stride, so that way I feel like I have more room to walk quicker to the line. So I'm just moving like 3 or 4 inches back from where I was from my normal and my slow. Okay, so as you see here, I'm about 0.4 miles per hour faster than my normal. Now, like I said, when you are testing this, it is good to bowl at a more normal, not as high friction or super high volume. As you move left and you're trying to throw it to the friction, especially on a house shot, your ball is slowing down quicker. So for me, that's why bowling on house shots, I have to be way more careful with the balls I throw, the surface I have in my bowling balls, because as I do that, my ball slows down quicker and quicker because I already have slower ball speed. So as you can see, it's harder for me to throw the ball faster as that happens, which is where I said more tricks and tools in my toolbox help me combat this. Now, if I was bowling on a more volume house shot where I didn't have as much friction to the right, you would see that my ball speed would be over 17. I could get it probably the whole way up to like 17.5 if I was playing straighter angles. So to show you guys that, I'm going to show you with my spare ball, just to kind of show you the difference, because my spare ball is not going to slow down as much. I'm going to be in the friction and you'll see my ball speed will be a lot higher. So you guys have an idea of what I mean when we say that the closer you are with less friction, your ball speed's going to jump up higher, which is why when you throw your spare ball, your speed goes up a whole lot more, because when your ball is going straight and it's not reading on the lane, it's showing that your ball is not slowing down at all, so it's that higher ball speed. Alright, as you see there, I'm over 17, which is around where my faster ball speeds are, is 17.3. I would say on my days, my max is about 17.5 at my highest. I am able to do that, but again, we use these tricks and tools and we need to practice them so we can do them more efficiently and more often, which means we can throw them 8 out of 10 shots, 9 out of 10 shots, which is what the pros do. So as I said, you want to be able to vary anywhere from 0.5 to a mile an hour from your normal, meaning high and low. So having this in your toolbox is very crucial if you want to be a better bowler, being able to do all your other tricks as well. So as you can see, ball speed can make a huge difference on the lanes when you're trying to combat the lanes, and it is essential if you want to improve your game.
All right, that's going to conclude today's video. Hopefully this helped you guys, and it kind of, was a nice refresher for ourselves to really dive into what we do in order to create faster or slower ball speed.
If you guys have any questions or comments, leave those down below in the comments. We try to get back and answer all of the questions that we can. But remember, it is always important to have a coach and work with someone, because some of these things are hard to work and master on your own. It is important to have a coach by your side. We still work with coaches to this day, even having each other. It is important to have that outside eye to really help you master these things and get to the next level that you want to in your game. But this is definitely a starting point and a tool that, like we said, you need to add to your toolbox toolbox as you get better and want to progress with your game and to a higher level. Or even if you're just wanting to improve your league average, we all know that you never know what you're really going to walk into league, especially when you're in a bigger house, when the lanes are drier in one part of the house or they hook less than another, or let's just say the oil machine is a little bit different that day. When they oiled it can always make a factor. So it's always nice to have this as a piece that you always know you have the ability to shoot your highest series every time you walk in.
Yeah, absolutely. The more you know, the better you are in this sport, just like with any sport. So thank you guys so much for watching, and if you haven't already, do us a favor, drop us a like and a subscribe. We're so close to 30,000, and with your guys' help, we can get there and we can give away more stuff. So we really appreciate it. Hopefully you found this video helpful.
Share it with a friend.
Yep. And until next time, see you on the next one.
Bye.